So what is the meaning of this pink moon? Well, it's the first full moon of the season of spring, the element of wood, reaching its peak illumination just 30 minutes right after the midnight hour on the East Coast, April 6th. But why is it called the pink moon? So it's been recorded in some of the Eastern native tribes, the pink moon, with the early budding of the springtime flowers, wildflowers, which are also known as moss pink for those pink colors. It's also been referred to as the breaking ice moon, or when the ducks come back. So just knowing that, and that it is the season of spring and Libra, all things that are partnership, commitments, balance, fairness, what comes to mind for me is harmony, the harmonics of sound, seed sounds, beauty, appreciating beauty, art, the beauty that surrounds all of life, the perfect blend and the balance of nature.
Ooh, inshallah and ashe. Little prize from my mom there. Blessings to you, my energetic beings, as always. And it is a Wizardry Wednesday, or the Wizard's Day. Where are my wizards? Where are my Merlins, witches, seers, oracles, shamans, and all the things otherworldly? So, have you began to notice something in your story, in your narrative? Are you at a turning point, or are you turning? Are you on the cusp? Starting a new chapter of who we are. So while we're waiting for people to hop onto the show, dive into the replay, really taking that moment, a pause point and a breath. The opportunities that we have are actually quite simple, really. And we can always treat ourselves as we always have, continuing on this journey, the path, or we could actually commit to the higher octave, raising the bar to a higher plane, a treatment of who we are within ourselves. And we get to decide this all for ourselves. So, what line are you casting? What's the casting call? What path are you going to take? What ultimately is the treatment that you are actually voting for at the podium? The curious part is how we act towards ourselves is actually a shout out to the universe. Shouting is actually an action of wood energy. Shouting, somebody who shouts when they talk. And ultimately, in the end, it shows the world how they ought to act towards or treat us. That's how it works. So that right there is the sauce and the ingredients of life today, and making the choice that we ultimately can commit to ourselves, something different, something better, something elevated. So it's not only life transforming and changing, but it's also empowering. It's escalating. So if you are able to see how you have transformed, shifting out of the old systematic mindset to your own soul's sovereignty or spirit, or both, actually, my hope is that you did answer yes. So what's on the table? What's on the galactic storefront here? What's on the aisle? So committing to an action on our own life, what our life becomes, ultimately moving us towards and with it in the flow. We're really in the season of moving, initiating, physical, the physicality. And it's not the kind of energy that really sits on the couch. It's that get her done, get off your ass kind of shit. You may want to write it down, your list, that casting call list. What do you want to grab off the shelf? Journaling, Post-it notes. I got them all over the place. Anybody else? So you get the idea. It's time to really make the call, get the insight, move in nature, sign up for a body session, shift your nutrition quotient, whatever it is that really speaks to you and through you and moving through you or forward. So in our life's choreography, from where we have already been, this is like having your own climate change and environmental shift, leading us out to our gift and our purpose, the story, the chapter that we are actually born to live, why we even incarnated at this time. So with these big eclipses even on the horizon, you can't make this shift up, the forefront coming into the quadrant. So are you feeling the excitement? Are you preparing to like activate the thrusters in your otherworldly jet? I don't know. The universe is offering us this to us. So do you have an empty tank or a half full tank? Are you throttling the tank? Do you got the pedal to the metal? Are you waiting? It's time to really open up the gates. And are you ready? Because once we tune into the show, you, my friend, are going to head into the streams, the timelines, and so much more. Others are going to need your assistance to really escalate. It's time to roar like a lion and really getting off the couch, knowing that we got this, and love to you along with those blessings. I am that I am. I really am all that I am. That's the kind of frequency. So this also includes our sacral, our root center, our inner child, shining light upon the inner child so that you may have some actual energetic hiccups, experience fears around our inner childhood, that choreography today, that sacral energy. So I'm encouraging you to really take the action, healing any of those core fears, the shadows, the wounds that may have been preventing you from actually thrusting or moving forward. So the first move that you take may just be the best move that you actually make. It's actually go time. It's time to move. It's time to go. So with that, welcome to today's Daily Snippet. Once again, I am your host. I'm a practicing holistic shaman, medium, an otherworldly life coach, and a subtle energetic surgeon. I prefer that over psychic surgeon, and a reflector by design. I do go by the term holistic shaman medium, which is just a choreography, a merging of them all. My intention is to utilize the indigenous technologies, the origins, rituals, the elementals, the imaginal realms, our original divine blueprint, our seed sound, navigating our soul's harmonic through these realms and so much more, whether it's a dimension, a portal, a gateway, the cosmos, whatever offering that's on the stage, with prescriptions, rituals, offerings to the world and of the world and the other world, usually, to really add to the juice of your main stage container. Rituals are the origin, food for our soul, part of our personal medicine, our prime directive, our gift and purpose. Everybody has a gift and a purpose. But once we open the door, that light shines even brighter. My name is Tonya Dee, and welcome to my virtual medicine room. And if you have yet to subscribe, please do to my channel, Tonya Dee, or Musing with Tonya Dee, my podcast, streaming in some great episodes this year. Season of the Witches. Love it. But we are in the season of Aries. It's like, who am I inside of me? But before we go any further down that, let's give a shout out to all the new peeps entering the village. Blessings, Ashe. Oh my gosh, so grateful. A validation, a voice of acknowledgement, even comments. Oh my gosh. New friends and guests that are arriving, new subscribers. Blessings to you and for you, just paying that forward. And also, of course, as always, those of you that have been a part of my journey since the beginning, it really does take a village, a community, a tribe, gratitude, and blessings. All of us have this secret sauce, right? Everybody, all of us, actually, whether you're tuning into me or not joining in. And also, I always like to give a shout out to those that do tune into the replay later. And if you don't mind hitting the white rabbit, the button, so you're notified when I go live, and subscribing on both of those, that would be awesome. And remember, a comment if you do feel a message or you need a message for your day, which I do have one for the end of today. Sharing, again, is just another way of paying it forward. And of course, you could also find me on TikTok. I'm kind of merging away from all the chaos on the other channels, to be honest. Just remember, I am your otherworldly shamanic reflecting assistant. You truly are your own healer, but sometimes we do have an energetic hiccup. We need an otherworldly life coach assistant, somebody that sees things differently, myself included, by the way, to get us out of our own magical way, to get us in the flow. The Daily Snippet, what's this all about if you're new to my show? Cosmic insights, the planets. And by design, I do follow the lunar energies of the moon through the seasons, and also the gates, different flavors. I do have a gate activated on this day, so I'll tune into that a little later. But our root channel is online, feeling the physicality, root, physical empathy, rooting our intentions through the power pathway, which is the command center in our hands. So if you're a Reiki artist, energy medicine through the hands, that's probably highly activated today. The elementals, the 4 pillars, why do I do them? I was drawn to them 20, 30 years ago because I work with energy medicine. I work through the skin, an elemental skincare line. So it's all about healing for me. But I do a mystery guest on Sundays about the 4 pillars, navigating those, the subtle energies along with the chakras, the energetic centers, because it's all these flavors that do these dances. So I'm kind of just drawn to all these pathways, quite honestly. And the auric fields. But being that we are in this corridor, marinating, a space of really upgrading our ego and going through this transmission, if you will, like who am I, who we are, how we treat ourselves inside of ourselves, our inner posture, our inner imagery, our inner environment. So are you feeling the inner sensations of self-leadership, like leading yourself, taking your own authority, your inner authority out into the world, and being maybe hyper-focused on a goal, a sense of inner responsibility towards yourself? Take charge, having a take charge attitude. So often this energy it may turn into self-judgment, anxiety, worry, kind of at the threshold, using our feelings, the sacral, the emotional empathy channel, to really gauge the cup. Are we overwhelming ourselves by pushing ourselves too hard? Feelings really are the best barometer, and this is the chapter where we have our inner ego along with our inner strength coming together to merge on a decision on the best way to both respond and also to treat ourselves on the inside. So are you ready to take an action to really commit to yourself, to your being, to a new response pattern, a patterning? Maybe focus on one singular issue, for example. Like, how do you respond to your inner critic, your inner self-sabotage? Or are you subscribing to a new policy of how you are going to respond to yourself in general? Maybe you're at the podium. Maybe a policy of signing on to be more self-loving to an obstacle. An obstacle is just a transformation. Committing to being more self-compassionate as part of that policy as you narrate at the podium for yourself. So checking into our heart space, the queen of our chalice, before we respond, be in kind. So whatever your spirit, your soul commits to, use your feelings as the balancing composite, counterbalancing the commitment to really authenticate it, if you will. Doing energetic vitals, the vital spirit check-in, if you will, through our sacral, our feeling sister. So if your feeling sister is resonating with the decision or the commitment that we need to initiate and begin with, or does the feeling sister kind of feel gloomy or dark or not really loving the decision on the platter, like what's out there? So it may only be kind of ego motivated, the decision. It may not be of soul service in the end to who we are, serving the heart in general, the chalice, the star that we are ultimately. On a side note or another note, do a check-in, a vital check-in with your feelings to actually determine how far or how soon or how much of the decision should really be applied. You kind of have to taste it or touch it. I don't know. Feelings are really the best way to navigate our ego self and all of ourselves from really going over the ledge. It kind of reminds me of Evel Knievel. So really taking a breath and a pause and sink back into or climb into your skin. Decide on that new policy, a new commitment for how you are going to begin treating yourself in the future, if not today. Be compassionate, feel your feels. Those are the barometers that you kind of have to tune into, because the moon's in the season of Cancer in her home sign, forming a square to Aries. So our feelings are emoting and initiating. And we also have the wounded healer, Chiron, our thought channel, Mercury, along with our beliefs, Jupiter, all in the season of action, character, self-treatment, Aries. So there's lots of change in the air. So there's a lot happening. So just a few announcements. If you have or have not yet, hang on because I'm getting all crafty here. Don't tell anybody. God's in a Box. Have you listened yet? Luciana Passeri. This week's episode of my podcast, Musing with Tonya Dee, great interview. It's part of the title of her book, God's in a Box on My Dresser. She just launched it. And also, if you'd like to be a mystery guest on The Rising of the Origins, I do 4 pillars on Sundays, so subscribe. The link I usually send out in my Musing newsletter. And also, for round 2 or 3, I am actually activating A Witcher's Way to Manifestation. This is being updated and choreographed at the moment, but I'm hoping to launch it very soon, mapping out our divine design to manifest. We all manifest differently. We law of attract, uniquely individual to each and every one of us. I believe I already have the link for that, but I do actually need to do some updates. So don't just be in the now and comment if you would love to have an opportunity to join me for this. There's going to be like a little mini introduction, of course, introducing it to see if your soul is called to join in. And of course, I still have Mongolia for 10 magical indigenous souls who wish to travel to the spirits of the land, the magic of the medicine people there, the culture. And we also have, of course, I didn't grab the image, but you all know the Musing Moon meditation is out. So this is balancing the act of faith and being ready to initiate heartfelt faith, knowing that you are a part of this collective universe, a warrior for good. The universe has our back. It's initiating some great change and transformation. Things really are happening for us, not to us, shifting the perspective and really smiling upon what appears to be the controls or the limitations of man that the higher ups try to put upon us in this dimension, which, you know, it's the world of illusional higher ups, by the way. So if you're picking up what I'm throwing out there. So Going back to Monday, if you tuned in, Monday I pulled the message of the serpent for today, which is the serpent, Kundalini. It's an awakening. You could use red Kundalini, gold Kundalini. What Kundalini do you want to use for you? And the 46. Now, if you remember, it's a combo energy, a combo of the message from Monday, Pachamama, the earth goddess, if you will, the earth mother, along with the arrow that was yesterday, the 4 and the 6. So are you kind of feeling the feels, being more self-compassionate? That's really what it's all about. Opening up in receivership, accepting, even honoring yourself. Honor how you could treat yourself better, or where we do or don't belong. Maybe the universe is moving us into a new chapter, moving out of something that might have served us in the past, but is no longer going to serve us in the future. Whatever that looks like. It could be our relationship, could be career, could be a house. It doesn't really matter. There's so many options. Perspectives. It's like, do I belong here, or has this really served its purpose? So really trust the universe, trusting yourself, and commit to your gift and purpose. Anything that feels life-altering is altering our lives. Really having faith, ultimate faith in something you may have never opened the ultimate faith in something you may have never opened the door to experience ever before. And in doing so, we are self-loving and we are self-trusting, trusting ourselves. What we are heartfelt manifesting in this choreography of life. So manifesting with our heart's intentions. And I do love the serpent Kundalini, the red serpent Kundalini, or the gold, different frequency energies, right? So we went from the Pachamama, Mother Earth, to the life force of Mother Earth. That's this Kundalini energy. It's the coiled serpent, moving, it's passion, it's healing, it's renewal, it's rebirthing. It's the fruits from the tree of knowledge that are being offered to each and every one of us in the Garden of Eden, the heavenly universe, actually, if you've tuned into any of my online offerings. So it's a reminder to really shed the skin of the past, the way that she's shedding that old skin. The forbidden fruit that's being offered, to set our passions, our creativity free flowing. So the serpent energy has already kind of begun to stir. I don't know if you're feeling it, stirring within all of our energetic centers, activating them, feeling these sensations to really answer the call, our gift and purpose to embrace the mystery, the magic, the wizardry of a Wednesday, shedding the old ways, the past. Kind of feels like the dark ages are just getting thrown out. So all of those things we may have been overly attached to the material realm. Just let it go. Welcome being vulnerable, fresh, a fresh new arrival, being a freshie, birthing anew. Brings us those fresh new experiences into our lives, our energetic fields, passion, really creativity, charisma, even our sexuality, things like that are awakening, the Kundalini rising, right? Activating all these shards. So often this can be ultimately very scary. It feels very unfamiliar usually, right? Feeling scary. Imagining being a snake, if you will, you being the snake, shedding all that skin, trusting the ancient wisdom, shedding of that skin, just like a serpent, the serpent life force, the chi, the prana, transforming all of our sensual energies, the earth star, into the mystical, the magical, the origin of the original manifestation, gift and purpose. That's kind of the energy there. So the elementals, I just changed this up a little bit. The elemental today, we've got a young fire dog. The dog is part of the fire trine. So if you have the horse or the tiger in your 4 pillars, that's going to complete the fire trine energy today. Just remember, the sun shines wherever it goes. Yang fire, Bingju, the dog. The sun shines wherever it goes. So our fire is rooted. The sun is kind of standing alone, shining upon our earth, the mountain. And what's on the mountain? The large meadow, a meadow with a river. A yang fire is the charismatic, lively energy, bright like the sun, can be excitable, quick to respond though, which is on the Aries day. That might just happen. So really coming across as being more passionate, having energy. The dog, the yang earth, is the performance for fire. Fire creates ash, which is the earth. And the metal is the dog. It's creating wealth. Wealth we create on our own with our own courage and our own creativity. So being our own, having the courage, the authenticity to go shine our light. There was something else I wanted to say, but that flipped away. So I'll get back to that hopefully later, the download. But the yin fire, that's hidden or a competition kind of energy. It's in storage. But all the yin wood is heavenly and earthly resources for our day. It's like the heavenly universe is shining light upon us and the earth plane, the 3D world. So resources are coming to us. Wood feeds fire, which is the energy of our day, our spirit, our life force, the kundalini, the serpent. The only thing that would make this any more magical with the planets and all, and the message, is if we actually had the snake in the 4 pillars. But water feeds the rabbit feeds the fire creates the earth, and the earth brings us metal, and then metal creates more water. So we do have flow. Whatever's happening, I'm going to take it. But the water in the air is also power. It's positive communication, able to communicate. In this case, I feel like it's intuition, those kind of communications, shifting, going with the flow, maybe some telepathy, spirit or divine directed telepathy in the choreography of life. So what do we need? Well, we are in the end degrees of the nature element. We go into the earth element, the dragon, next week, probably around April 6th on the full moon, which is going to be galactic juicy. I didn't even think of that till just now. So I'm feeling some metal, some courage, breath work. So yeah, we've got a pretty yin energy day, yang earth. So I always look at the elementals of the organs as well. Fire. So we do have the heart, and we also have the small intestine, and the dog is the pericardium, or the heart protector. Don't quote me on that. I'm thinking of both the dog and the pig, so I'm moving around. But fire, fine tuning or pruning the rabbit is what metal is doing into something creative for the earth. So let's see. I would say the root center is highly activated today, along with our ability to command forces. Reiki healers out there, this is probably a very active day for you. It's kind of like be careful for what we wish for. Be kind to all of the things. That's what nature is. It's kindness. Metal is being courageous. Fire is being joy and laughter. Earth is contemplative. And inner peace, that's the water. So we're kind of being directed to have more inner peace and inner kindness to ourselves for all of 2023. Just remember, words are really like spells, right? Just saying. So choose a path that is self-loving, healing, kind, compassionate in your inner corridor. So what is the new path, a new way of being, approaching yourself that you can really ultimately commit to today, intuitively directed, even thoughts that we are in process of in our mind? What are those thoughts? So I would journal today. What's the choice? What's the choice for you? But actually, as you're journaling, take a breath and a pause, contemplate it, wait until tomorrow to really initiate the plan, the policy at the podium that's most fitting to your own gift and purpose, not the outer world. And again, be kind. The wood element is really kindness. And often our ego self has this push, rushing kind of energy, very impatient. So really taking that breath, taking that pause. There's no need to be overly committing to any policies that are not fitting for an initiation or an action plan for you today. Heartfelt commitment. So really take the full throttle, if you will, and contemplate. Where do you want to create or initiate a new action plan in your choreography of life and how you respond to your inner world? Maybe you need some minor adjustments inside of yourself. Pat yourself on the back, for Christ's sakes. Just notice how far we've all come. It's time to shed all the things that have no longer been serving us, who we are ultimately working to become, and this thing called life. Prince, I totally miss him, by the way. Just know that all of the dreams, the wishes are within. We are all the answer we have been waiting for. It's within ourselves. Trust your ability to really commit to you. Marry yourself. I did. A new way of being creates a new way of treating ourselves. So just shine your light out into the world, and the world will shine that light back to you. It's receivership. Just be opening up to that. But I would affirm, or I am feeling like affirming, I should say, that I am the I am, shedding my skin, treating myself better than ever I have before. And for fun, I do have a message for Brittany because she commented on my show, which I loved. You get the drum. Yes, and by the way, kickboxing, we all need to get the flickery out of us, right? And off of us. But the drum, what is the drum? The drum is the heartbeat. It's the drum of the number 15. I always like the numbers. That's about being mindful of our thoughts. Are we heart-based affirming, or are we negating? Are we optimistic? Are the thoughts optimistic? Are they affirming a better way to treat yourself in the season of Aries? It adds to a 6. This is opening us up to accept and receive on this day of committing to a better way of self-treatment through allowing. So I would simply say, that I am treating myself better than I ever have before, whatever that is. Maybe it is kickboxing. Maybe your body needs to move more. Maybe you need to upcycle your nutrition quotient. Whatever it is, just make sure taking that baby step. Small steps are also better than big steps. The drum, though. So I do have a shaman's drum. It was gifted to me from the reindeer people of Mongolia. I do call it a fire drum, made from the reindeer hide adventures in Mongolia. But the drum's rhythm is the element of fire. It tunes us to the beating heart of the galactic universe, the singers of the realm. The frame, I was going to bring my drum up, but I forgot to grab it. It's made of wood. That links us to the trees. Mine's in an octagonal shape. So it's got a different frequency, but it's the realm of wood. It's the realm of nature. It's assisting us in the journey to the lower realms through the roots of the tree, and also the upper world through the branches. So trees are very magical, and of course we're in the season of nature, so the trees are even more. I'm just feeling they're more shimmery right now. They're birthing anew. And the skin, the hide of the drum, that gives the shaman, the medicine person, the power of the animal realm. I almost said elemental realm, animal realm, kind of similar. The beings of the animal totems could be the beings of any nature, spirit, water, star, fire, all the things, so much more. So when we strike the drum, it really calls forth the power, the thunder, the lightning, the earth quaking, maybe the winds of change, rumbling, all this stuff. So the drum is this invitation to really take a breath, maybe go into a meditative state, a trance. So this is the space of both healing and prophecy, getting messages. It's a message to really climb into your skin, be authentic, step into the boldness of who you are on your earth journey. The forces of heaven and earth are in divine alignment. They're supporting you. They're aligned with your efforts, which is actually going to make this more effortless. It's going to make it easy in your action. There's no need to push through or against the waters, the tides of change, the rivers, if you will. I would probably go to the rivers and do a water offering to the spirits of the water. Just came in. But the current, just like jumping into the current, you're exactly where you're supposed to be in the thread lines. The universe has your back. All you have to do is really jump in and collect all of your own power, your power tools. And especially what's unique about this is we're in a day of using our command center, our 11th energy center in our hands. And this is the ability to command forces, generative, degenerative, calling in the winds. I mean, that's what shamans do. I'm just saying. So summon your own innate courage. It's a message of wild but yet exciting journey. And we do have Yang Fire of the Sun today, shining light on everything and everywhere. So I would just be alerted to the messages and just allowing yourself to be carried, not just by the sound or the rhythm of the drum, but maybe by the winds of change. What is really essential to your being, your life, but also be aware of where the sun is shining light on you today. So it's kind of both those things in awareness, intuition, our ancestors, source, the other world, the universe, divine messages, all the juice. And being that I actually forgot, curiously enough, at the gate. So you're not going to see me for a minute. So I can show you the gate that's activated for me. Okay, so this is the money channel. What? Oh, did I grab the wrong one? I sure did. That was my gate from the other day. Uh-oh. Hang on. I got to do a little topsy-turvetish. Bingo. Okay, this is the gate for today. Hang on. Good thing I'm getting creative at this. Oh, I don't want the money channel. Well, let's do that. Grab the wrong thing. That's quite curious. Did I do it again? Well, never mind. Let's just get rid of both of those. So I do have a gate open today. This is so funny. I can't believe it. That's hilarious. It's the channel of emoting, which is funny. It's the route to the emotions, all the world's a stage kind of energy. It's a design of kind of moodiness, a projected energy. It's the 39, gate 39, or gene key 39. They're kind of topsy-turvetish, but that's a provocative kind of energy, the provocateur. I might provoke people, basically. So the theme, it's kind of this individual circuitry, the energy of emotional changes or charges. It's kind of gifting myself, my own ability to provoke emotions in other people, finding those that kind of resonate with my own mood, if you will, or my moon. Curious, I should say today. And the 55, which connects this gate, is the gate of spirit, abundance. So it's kind of like forces of adversity. Maybe I'm meeting obstruction somewhere. I'll kind of keep you posted on that as I'm journaling for myself, kind of live. So with that, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you on the other side. Too funny, I don't know where my image went. But blessings, as always, to you and, of course, for you. Ashe.
The a priori thing. It was the most important thing. Here's how you need to believe. Here's what you believe. Here's what's going to get you into heaven. Here's what's going to send you to hell, and all of those sorts of things. And I have no problem with dogma. And I'm actually grateful for the scaffolding religion gave me. But kind of to answer your question in a little longer way, is what I've found through my investigations is that as good as dogma can be, it can be a barrier to us thriving spiritually and then thriving in this world. Because when we use, so many people use dogma to define their relationship with spirit or with God. And then when we do that, right, my definition of God comes, or spirit comes from an external source. And that just makes no sense in the world of spirit.